If you've got a stump in your yard and somebody just quoted you $400 to make it disappear, a Piedmont farmer named Roy Halstead already settled this for you back in 1932. Halstead stood at the edge of 40 acres of stump field in Rowan County, North Carolina, and did the math on a piece of butcher paper. A clearing outfit had quoted him $3 a stump. He had 682 stumps, and in a coffee tin under the porch he had $11.40. He walked out to the barn, took down a hand auger, and pulled a sack of saltpeter off a nail his father had driven in 1897. By the following autumn, every stump on that bottom was gone. He never wrote a check, and he never rented a machine. Today, most of us look at one stump, get a quote for $400, and pay it. But here's the twist, friend. Nearly every method that farmer used still works on your stump this year, and the fastest ones are the ones they slowly, quietly wrote laws against. I'm the 7th generation on this ridge. My family settled it in the 1790s and never left, and near everything I'm about to show you, my grandfather wrote down in a leather journal and made me swear the old ways wouldn't die with him. This is me keeping my word. Let's count down from 10, not what did we lose, that question's finished. The question now is who got rich when you forgot, and how you take it back this weekend on the stump in your own yard. Number 10, rent the grinder. The honest baseline. Start here so you know what you're being sold. A stump grinder rents for about $150 a day, and an arborist will grind one for $250 to $450 depending on width. It works and it's fast. That's the villain of this whole list, and it isn't the machine. It's the rental yard needing you to believe it's the only machine. Number 9, the mattock and grubbing hoe. Your great-grandfather cleared his first pasture with a mattock, an axe, and a Saturday. You dig a trench 18 inches out, chop the lateral roots as you find them, rock the stump, and sever the taproot last. On anything under 8 inches across, the whole thing lifts. They didn't ban this one, they just stopped teaching it. First pattern break, neighbor. Here's where it stops being quaint handwork and starts being the reason somebody bought a lake house on your not knowing. Number 8, cut it low and split it. The height of the stump is the height of the problem. Take it down to 2 inches, not 2 feet, then drive splitting wedges into the crown along the grain and work outward toward the flare roots. Forest Service field manuals taught this as standard back in the 1930s. It vanished from the curriculum right about the time consumer chainsaw sales tripled. Number 7, the stump puller. Between 1868 and 1890, the Patent Office issued more than 400 patents for stump pulling machines. Hooked to a team, they multiplied pulling force tenfold, and a 2-day stump came out in 20 minutes. The modern version is a hand crank cable winch, about $70, anchored to a standing tree. They didn't outlaw it. They just quit making it because the market moved to a machine you had to rent. Number 6, ring bark at first. This one takes 18 months and there's no invoice at the end, which is exactly why nobody tells you. Cut a clean ring of bark all the way around, 4 inches wide, hip high, through the living layer, just under the bark. The tree keeps standing, but it stops feeding its roots. Within a year, the whole root system is dead, and when you fell it, the stump comes out with almost no fight left. Second pattern break. We're through the mechanical half. From here down, it's chemistry and biology, and that means dirt, salt, sugar, water, and time. Nobody sends you a bill for time. Number 5, let the woods eat the woods. Drill a grid of 1/2-inch holes in the flush-cut top, pack each one with an oyster mushroom plug about $1 a piece, and seal it with wax. The fungus eats the stump from the inside out over 12 to 18 months, and you get about 10 pounds of edible mushrooms per flush along the way. Fewer than a handful of extension agents will bring it up because there's no product to sell. Number 4, cover and starve. Take away sunlight and air long enough and a stump surrenders. Cover it with a heavy black tarp, weight the edges with stones, and walk away for 6 to 12 months. It goes dormant, then soft, then crumbly. It costs you about $20 and it's reusable across a dozen stumps. Patience is the cheapest tool in the shed and the one nobody wants to pick up. Number 3, cook the tree. Truck farmers in the Ozarks used boiling water on the smaller stumps every spring. Scrape the soil back, chisel a few deep pockets into the crown, and every 3 or 4 days for a month, pour a full kettle of boiling water straight in. 212 degrees ruptures the cells and cooks the cambium dead. No product, no permit, no bottle. Number 2, the salt method. Here's the one that costs $3 and works on any stump under 16 inches. Drill 1-inch holes 6 to 8 inches deep, 3 inches apart. Pack them with plain rock salt or Epsom salt and cap them with wax or dirt. Rain does the rest. In 6 to 12 months, the wood's punky enough to break apart with a mattock. That $14 bottle labeled stump remover on the big box shelf is most often just potassium nitrate. Same job, same timeline, a fraction of the price. If you plan to plant where the stump was, use Epsom salt so you don't sterilize the soil. Now, there are 2 methods from the old days I'll give you as history, not how-to. From about 1900 to 1930, DuPont sold farm dynamite by mail order and shipped over 100 million pounds of it until federal licensing after 1970 made that functionally impossible to buy today. And saltpeter-soaked stumps were once set to smolder, glowing like a coal in the ground for days, until air quality boards wrote treated stump burning out of legal practice in the 1970s. I'm not walking a 14-year-old through charge weights or lighting a chemically treated stump in fire season. Know your county and know your burn ban. That's the whole point. A farmer in 1915 had tools for this you literally cannot legally use now. Number 1 isn't a method. It's the thing all the rest were pointing at, the right method for the stump you actually have on your own timeline with tools you already own. Halstead wasn't poor, friend. He looked at 682 stumps and $11, and he didn't conclude he needed 400 more. He concluded he needed a winner. So here's what I want you to do this week, and not next spring. Pick one stump, the smallest one you've been staring at for 2 years, and pick one method. Drill it and pack it with Epsom salt Saturday morning, or throw a tarp and a rock over it and forget it till spring. One stump, one method. See what your grandfather already knew.